Relationships suck. So I've been told, and I've felt that way many times. What about you? This topic was prompted by a few things. One, during the pandemic, lots of relationships were going through the fire, the test, the tough times. I had people reaching out to me. And then more recently, it's kind of happening again. I heard a guy talking about relationships, and maybe this will stoke things a little bit. This is a big topic. And whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, this is for you. The guy said, women don't love men. He said, women love the way men make them feel. And when the man stops or can't, or for some reason can't make her feel a certain way, she's gone. And of course, this conversation sparked a lot of debate, and lots of people came out and talked about it. Think about that for a moment, because men act a certain way too in relationships, because it seems like we're all out to get something. I want that dream person. There's this ideal person out there who's going to make me feel, sweep me off my feet, or give me foot massages when I get home from work, going to cook dinner every night. We're going to take lavish vacations. We're going to spend time in the Riviera, the Maldives, the coast of Greece. And then like reality sets in and none of that happens. And then you might be disillusioned in a relationship. I felt the need to talk about this because it's starting to talk about it is what improves it. What say you? Are you single? Are you in a relationship? Michelle, welcome. I grabbed some content off of Psychology Today to pull the top 10 reasons why relationships struggle. And then I grabbed some reasons why people are single. I'm not going to get too deep because this is a deep topic. There's a lot of content on it, and there's a lot of perspectives we can look at. But I would say this, my belief, let me just give you some inspiration. If you're single, you can absolutely be in an amazing relationship. If you're in a relationship that's not going so good, it can be reinvented, reinvigorated, and refreshed. If we're willing to look at things differently, if we're willing to look at ourselves. One of my biggest lessons that I learned going through a hard breakup, I needed to look in the mirror. That was my first step. The mirror tells me. But when we've been wronged, it's like, I'm going to give you a gross example, if you will, a gross example. If somebody walked up to me and they got, like, let's say they got a, the branding things they use, they'd heat it up and they'd put it in your skin and it would brand you, like it would put an indentation in your skin. So imagine if somebody walks up to me and they put this right on my skin. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm screaming in pain, right? I'm not going to run over to the mirror, right? Because the pain is so great. And let's say I didn't expect the person to do this. Let's say they did it without me knowing it. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be like pissed. I'm going to go after them. I'm like, you just burned me, right? And the reason why I'm using this analogy, it's kind of a gross, weird analogy, but in a relationship, we might feel that emotional pain. And we're not seeking the mirror. We're looking at the person that burned us. We want revenge. We want to understand. We want vindication. We want validation. We don't want to know what we did wrong. We want to know what they did wrong. And I'm going to go through this. And by the way, share your experience. If you have something, hit me with a question. I want to take questions. I want to make this very valuable for you if you're listening to this, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're wanting to get out of one, whether you're looking for one. This is a big topic. Psychology Today says there's 10 reasons why relationships don't work or there's a problem. Trust. Trust is a big one, right? Trust is lost somewhere along the way. It could be an integrity issue, could be a lie. Trust is lost, compromises the relationship, causes problems. Moving through life at different speeds. And I have different ways that I measure this, which I'm not going to get into now. I'm just using Psychology Today for this example, but I will add some commentary. Moving through life at different speeds, to me, that's a compatibility thing, but they say growth versus stagnation. Someone may have a growth mindset versus someone who has a stagnation mindset, right? There's a difference there. Compatibility could be sexual compatibility, could be your likes and dislikes, could be you're a homebody. This person's a go, go, go. I mean, these are things that happen. We get attracted to people and we get into relationships, and then all of a sudden we realize these things later. And we've all done it. Well, not all of us. A lot of us, most of us have done it. We've made mistakes. Communication, big one. I would say that the majority are not good communicators. Or they're good communicators, but they're not communicating. They've shut down for some reason. That's another reality. Narcissism. That's a big buzzword nowadays. Narcissism. Narcissism is you feel or somebody feels a special way and they need to be treated a special way, some level of admiration. And if they don't get it, it becomes very self-centered and they're not aware of it. Because we all want to get to a similar place in a relationship. We just don't know how to get there. We're just confused. Where's the map? Where's the map? I didn't get the map on how to get a great relationship. Where is it? Well, there's a quote that says selection is everything, but we don't know how to select, and we don't know how to select because we haven't a lot of times, not all, we haven't done the work inside of ourselves. And I think for me, that was partially true. I didn't do the work necessary. And there's some other issues, but that's one of them. Abuse. Let's face it, abuse is real. And it doesn't mean it's always physical. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be both. And that's a tough one. To me, it all comes from unhealing or patterns that were repeated. Chances are, if someone's an abuser, they were abused, or they have deep emotional hurts that can't help but come out, and they come out in various ways, and they explode on people, and they do a lot of damage. And it's all, again, the mirror. We don't want to look at the mirror, and it gets bigger and worse over time. And then the other thing that becomes an issue is a life habit abuse where there's a habit that's bad and it's impacting the relationship. And it could be something that's done in secret. It could be done out, but it's either way, it's impacting the relationship. The other one, and this is kind of cliche, we've grown apart. We've absolutely just grown apart. He grew that way, I grew this way, or she grew that way, I grew this way. We just grew apart, and we found out we were not, for whatever reason. That's another one we hear. And money. Woo, money's a big one. Money's always listed as the top ones. But if you dig deeper, there's psychological stuff that drives money behavior in a relationship. Isn't it true? There's a I'm coming from this way, you're coming from that way. I'm a saver, you're a spender, vice versa. We can't seem to find, and I'm gonna have more information on that too. Eileen and John have a program called they do a date night money rendezvous. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a really cool program. It's all about having healthy conversations around money. So it doesn't matter if you're a saver and I'm a spender. We're gonna have healthy conversations about it, and we're gonna create strategies where we can be together in a healthy way, even though we have different beliefs, because we have different psychology around it. Psychology drives our money habits. Okay. Now, if you're single, give me some questions. Okay, let me grab some shares here, and then I'm going to get into the single people out there. I'm one of the single people. please hit me with a question. There's, yes, the mirror tells all, no exceptions. It's difficult to put the mirror up. And sometimes what we need someone else. Me. We need someone else who's emotionally mature that can kind of hold the mirror with us, don't we? Harville Hendrix, if you don't know Harville Hendrix, he wrote a number of books. He married a woman. They're both the psychotherapists. I pull from a lot of their work. They do a thing called imago therapy, but he talks about this concept that we're all seeking emotional healing that our parents didn't give us. We're looking for this completion. Even if you're relatively healthy, every parent fails at some level. That's just the way it is. It's not right or wrong. And when we get into a relationship, subconsciously or consciously, we're seeking that continuation of that growth process. And if we're unconscious and the other person's unconscious, it can cause a lot of emotional havoc, emotional devastation, if you will. Trust is earned, not easily restored when breached. Let me say it this way. It's an anomaly, a miracle, whatever you want to call it, if it's restored. I know one story where trust was violated in the most egregious way, and the couple stayed together. I know one. Most, no, it doesn't last. After that, and if it does, there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of manipulation, there's a passive aggressive retaliation. Lots of things can happen in a relationship. Okay, welcome, Jenna. Narcissists are always right. Narcissists, and usually that's a level 1 relationship, and that is you take care of my needs. You meet my needs. I'm unconscious to the whole ecosystem that leads to a healthy relationship because I didn't grow enough yet. So I want you to meet my needs. And if you don't meet my needs, maybe it's what that gentleman talked about when I opened this up. Women don't love you. They love you for how you make them feel. I would say a level 1 woman, yes. Maybe sometimes a level 2, but more often than not, this you got to take care of me, right? That's the narcissistic part of this. Create strategies. Okay. What are we talking about here? Waiting for a knight in shining armor, adventurous kind of guy to compliment me. Too many betrayals in my lifetime. Trust might be an issue from my part. Emotional intelligent communication is key. Anilda, thanks for sharing that. It's challenging to share things that are matters of the heart, especially when they're true to us. But I believe that the gateway or the doorway to the relationship that you desire goes to the valley of vulnerability. And a lot of us want to just go to the mountaintop of the romantic relationship, but we're not willing to go through the valley of vulnerability, and then we sit and settle. And we settle for love. We settle for connection, and love is just outside of our reach. We can't get there, and we just settle. Wow. We're levels now. We got levels. That's beautiful, good for them. Now let's talk about single people. Why are you single? Why are you single? And then I'm going to throw my key in here to what I think and what I work on for myself. And I'm working through my stuff as well. But, so why are you single? Too picky. You are too picky. Number 2, you flake or you ghost. You're too busy. You don't have time for a relationship. You're a bad communicator, so they typically don't work out. You're a bad communicator. Here's a good one. Too many or too few options. Typically, women, too many, men, too few, right? Typically, women have every guy, right? And this is great. Men are like dogs, women are like cats. Men are like, come on, let's go, right? Men are like, let's go play. And cats are like, they just walk away, right? Yeah. I don't like, they're like, I don't have time for you. Like I'll be over here and I might come over if you present yourself the right way. I might just come over so you can pet me. Otherwise, I'm going to be over here. Where dogs are like, they'll chase you, right? And I think Michelle put a comment. She had to block men. Why? Because men are like dogs. They want to chase. They don't know any better. They don't understand. Think about chase. If I start chasing you, what are you going to do? You're going to think I'm a lunatic. You're going to run, right? What do guys do in a relationship? They chase. Oh, she can't say no now. I just called her 5,000 times. I sent her roses. She can't say no now. And now she's getting creeped out. She thinks you're a little creepy. Guess what? She's going to leave, right? That's the way that works. I mean, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But why do guys chase? Because we've been trained to get the girl. I'm going to get the girl. I'm going to win the girl. I'm going to win the maiden. This is programming, right? The princess, the prince, the king, the queen. I'm going to win the girl. Now, anyway, I'm not going to go too far there, but you get my point, right? You get my point on this topic. Too many or too few options. Maybe you're just not investing enough. You're just not willing to invest. You might be lukewarm. You might be numb because maybe you're just like, you've been hurt so many times, right? They've done tests with animals. When there's enough pain, the animal stops trying, right? If you've been shocked enough times, even though it's right in front of you, you may not go because you've experienced a level of pain in relationships. What's the use? They all end up the same way. They don't work out. It's painful. But you tell me what in life that's worthwhile is easy. We know this, but we don't realign ourselves as collectively. And what's going on today, I'm just going to hit it. Like, people are sleeping together like that. Like, matter of fact, if you poll the younger generation, especially women, if a guy is not trying to sleep with you in 3 dates, they think something's wrong. That's the culture that's happening right now. And it's backwards. And you can throw morality out, right? And I'm not saying what I'm saying. If you put morality aside, there's physiologically things happen, attachment, things happen, and it's rampant. And we need to be looking at this. And then you get hurt. Then you wonder why there's a cycle that's of pain. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. Everybody has a pain body, and everybody's pain body can be triggered. And then when it's triggered, it's like fight or flight. And we operate from fight or flight, and then we hurt each other. And I don't care what you want to name the category, narcissism, gaslighting, all this stuff. It all comes from unhealing, which means I'm not showing up I'm not showing up there. I'm not conscious. I'm not showing up the right way. Maybe I'm sleeping with somebody too quickly in the first 3 dates. And then all of a sudden, especially this happens a lot, guy sleeps with the girl. And what happens? The guy disappears. And the girl goes, why'd that happen? Because from the dawn of time, women think that if they sleep with a guy, somehow they're going to lock him down. And it does the exact opposite. He runs. Why? Because they didn't they didn't do the work. They didn't do the emotional work. They didn't go through the process. And even sometimes you go through the process, there's no guarantee. So if you're single, there's no hope. No, I'm kidding. You can still have an amazing relationship. Not putting your best foot forward. When we're in a relationship, maybe we're not putting our best foot forward again, but that to me is, I don't think it's going to work out. And I want to hit on a couple things that are really, really important. It's okay to go out with somebody and not be interested. It's okay. You don't have to feel this pressure. Like that should be like, here's the challenge. Like we should be able to get into talk to somebody and get to know them without all this stuff, this pressure, this, oh, is he gonna like me? Right? Because here's the thing with Flashpoint success, it happens when you least expect it. Why? Because we tend to hyper focus. I want it now. Where is it? Where is it? And the more it's like, and then we're chasing, or we're putting, like, we're hyper focused on it and we're pushing it further and further away. And let me grab some of your shares here. Maribel, welcome. Hopefully this is stirring you up. We need to be better at relationships. We need to talk about it more. It doesn't mean we're going to fix it right now, but if we talk about it, and how would you like me to do this at Flashpoint Live? I was thinking about just turning the whole weekend into a relationship weekend. I'm going off the rocker here, but you know what? I'm willing to do what's going to serve. And I'm willing, if it's going to serve you and we spend 2 days on relationships, I'll do it, because the past two events, when we did Flashpoint, we never really got into the relationship stuff that I wanted to get into. And maybe this is what we need right now. Maybe we need healing. Maybe we need more consciousness. Maybe we need to develop more. Maybe we need to develop healthy relationships. Maybe we need to learn how to communicate better. Maybe we need to know it's okay to feel shaky. It's okay to feel vulnerable. Maybe we need to know that. Maybe we need to know that we can do that and we're going to be okay. Because what happens is we slip into that fight or flight mode and it can feel like death. We feel this pressure. Oh my God, they're not going to love me. I'm at the stage in my life I can love and let go. And people don't like that in my relationships. How can you love people? How can you love them and not want to be with them? That doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense to most of the world because we want to attach, we want to smother, we want to hold on. That's not a relationship. That's like ownership. You don't want to be owned. I don't want to be owned. We want to be we want to create synchronicity. We want to, and when that's synchronous, and you've seen it in couples. If you know you've seen it and you want it, you just don't know how to get it. But you've seen other couples, and those other couples, they allow their partner to be free to be who they are. There's not this this stuff. And if there is that stuff, it's because you got to go inside. If you're trying to control somebody, that's your issue. You got to go inside and look at that stuff. We all need to heal at some level. All of us. Your parents, even if you had the best parents ever, they didn't complete the job. It's not done. The job is never done. But if we work on ourselves and we learn to love ourselves, you've heard this before. I mean, it sounds cliche, but I really do think we need to see ourselves with better eyes. We need to have more grace with ourselves. We need to do the work and do the healing. That's a man's job to chase, but a gentleman and moderately. Well, I'll talk more about that at the live event. I think women are the ones that chase, although it doesn't seem like they do. So women chase, but it can't seem that way. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll get more detail on that later. They smother. I don't do smothering. Right. Some people like smothered. Well, some people like to be smothered. I don't like to be smothered. Some people like to be smothered. You will never see them again. Exactly. They are gone. Boom. Okay. Single, but I have respect. And hit me with questions, by the way. If I stoked you, provoked you, fired you up, you got a question, throw it out there. Single, but I have respectable friends. However, I am a little picky. And you know what? We can be picky. I think we can have high standards, but we need to be open. We need to have high standards, but we need to be open. We balance the energies. I believe in staying alive, staying alive. Being vulnerable is the key. No matter how hurt, and this is what I've learned. You might have been hurt 1,000 times. 1,000 times you're hurt. And maybe even in your current relationship. But again, this may not be as applicable in the current relationship, but it can be. Willing to be vulnerable, willing to ask for forgiveness, willing to put your ego aside and to seek understanding. The challenge with understanding is this. Most people are predisposed to think, especially when the emotions are high, if I seek to understand you and I understand you, I will be forced to agree with you. And therein lies the paradox. And it may be a key for somebody listening here today. I am free to understand you and not agree with you. I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand the words coming out of your mouth. I can validate and understand that you feel that way, but it may not be true for me. If you can create that separation, you can open a doorway to a new form of communication. And if you think about a couple, even a new couple, look at the eye contact. Couples who are not getting along are not able to give themselves. They're not able to look each other in the eye without some like void of judgment. They're not able to do it. They do this. They coexist because there's unresolved stuff there. We get into a relationship. I bring my unhealing. You bring your unhealing. We got to look at the unhealing. We can't just go with the little happy high notes. We go in with the little happy high notes and we think the little happy high notes are always going to be there. And then we realize there's some deep bass and there's some down moments that I didn't expect. And it can knock us off and cause a lot of problems. We need to be more conscious. We need to be more bold. We need to be fully engaged, but being able to detach and not try to control and hold on to. Seek understanding as if you would seek gold, said Solomon. Yeah, that's valuable. This is a gift right here with Mandy sharing right here. Imagine if you went into every relationship, not just your romantic relationships, and you sought understanding as if it was gold. Isn't it more valuable than that? I've had conversations with people and within minutes, they're moved and they've given me compliments and they said I'm a great communicator and they open up and tell me, how many people on here, people tell you things you can't believe they tell you. That happens to me all the time. You know why? Because I look them in the eye and I listen. And that little extra holding of eye contact opens up a door that most people won't get to because they're so distracted. Do you ever try to talk to somebody and what do you say? I've been like that too. But create more moments of genuine connection. Whether it's in your current relationship, you can restart it, jumpstart it, bring that passion back, be the one to seek to understand. Let me understand. I put your stuff away. Don't say, oh, but you did this, but I did this, but. Put your stuff away, sit down and listen with understanding only. That's it. That will change a relationship. It might even change a life. Pure understanding, pure putting yourself out there, not feeling like you have to agree, just pure opening yourself up. You could be in a current relationship and imagine if you approached new relationships the same way. You just wanted to understand and you go in with this open space that, listen, we don't have to get married. We don't have to stay together just because we're on a date. We can just talk. We can become friends maybe. We can see where it goes. I'm going to wrap this up. Let me just see here. I have a friend that has been unhappy in a relationship since 99, but is comfortable. I feel so bad for him because I want him to experience real love. How many people have settled for some weak level of connection because the fear of change is too great. Not all relationships are meant to last forever. The problem is we're programmed to believe they should. I love people that I've dated that I will never see again. And I have a love in my heart that will never go away. And it feels so good. Like it feels so good to know that I loved them at that level that I was at. And I feel liberated. I don't have to hold on to it. You know, we have this bogus expectation that we have to control, attach, own. It's got, let go and you're free. And you can usher in what's supposed to be there. Known from my great eye contact, people say it all the time, another key element in communication, focused on the person in front of you. But when you're pissed off, sometimes you don't want to look them in the eye, do you? You don't want to look them in the eye. I don't want to look at you. All right, well, go blow off some steam and then come back when you can look them in the eye. Because ultimately, eye contact will heal if you're void of judgment and your own crap. If you're not saying, oh, well, you know, I did this, but you did that. Oh, I did this, but you did this, and but you did this, and but you did that. Get your butt out of there. Go admit what you did wrong. You're not responsible for their behavior. Even when you're in a relationship, you're not responsible for them. They're responsible for them. You can't change them with force. They will flee. It's like, making them try to do something that they're not going to do. I want to work on, me too. I want to work on presence too. But you want to work on presence? It starts right now. It starts, are you in the moment? Where are you? Are you, oh my God, I got to go here. I got to go there. I messed up back there. Doesn't this happen to us? Presence is like the airplane I talked about this morning. We get back on track. So right now, breathe and get present. The present moment is always available for us. Right now, the present moment is always here. Always. It's us. We wander, don't we? We're over here. We went back to 1982. Now we're going back to 2025. What's going to happen then? And we're over here. Blah, blah, It's like we wander. And like present moment's like, that's where the still small voice is. It's in the present moment, right? Approach all relationships seeking to understand. You taught me that you can love someone and not be with them because you might have attracted them at a lower level in your growth. Maybe you weren't aware of compatibility and you're going to make each other miserable for the rest of your lives. That's ridiculous. I want you to be happy. If I'm not the one, go find a better compatible partner for you. I want that for you. I want you to be happy. That's love. That's what love is. Not, I want to own you. You said you love me for the rest of your life. I mean, I know we want that. And I know that's possible. But here's when it's possible. When we're willing to look at the opposite. There's the paradox again. I want to love you and be with you for the rest of my life. You like that energy, right? But you got to be willing to accept the opposite energy. That I might be without you the rest of my life. But if you're happy, I can live with that and I can have peace about that. You see that? That's powerful. Powerful. Fear permeates, fear does. And it's going to still happen. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to me. And Mandy's hitting on it. And I'm going to close out with that in a moment. It's so easy to let go of fear. We can let go of fear. Let go and let God. You can talk about the spiritual side. There's a spiritual side there's a triangle. You got the man, the woman, and God creates the triangle. That's another symbol. If you want to look at that, look in the mirror first. You can only control yourself. And this is what I was going to close with. Awareness in the present moment. That's all we have. Train yourself to be aware. It's through your own awareness. I wasn't aware early on. I've made mistakes. I've failed because some of us have better models. We have better models to follow. But even when we have the better models, sometimes it doesn't work out. We need to be conscious in our growth. A healthy relationship is one of the best things that you can experience to help you grow. And if you don't have it, grow as far as you can. I used to think that you didn't need somebody to complete you. But I do believe that there's a synergistic part where you do the work that you can do, become the best version of yourself. And when that right person you attract, they're gonna help you finish that process. They're gonna help you augment it. They're gonna help you because we all have hurt and pain inside of us. And when we attract the right partnership and we show up in love, we can become a healing force in our lives through presence, being presence with each other. Imago therapy is something we do at the live event. It's something that Harville Hendrix talks about. It's basic stuff. It has to do with presence, has to do with communication. It has to do with being open to the moment, being open to the other person's perspective. That's what we're talking. And I think Anilda's talking about it here. People misunderstand what love is, but true love is sacrificing one's life for another. Right. I love you even if you're not with me. I love you because I want you to grow as a human being. I don't want to control you. If I'm controlling you, that's my weakness. That's my hurt. I need to be healed. If I can love you and let you go, that's love. If I know it's in your best interest, or I should say, if that's going to help you grow and maybe there's something better or someone better for you, I need to be okay with that. We don't have to hold on, attach, and own everything, every relationship. I'm pouring out what's inside of me through my mistakes. I have failed many times, many times. I love my parents. I came from a broken home. I watched failure after failure after failure, but it's not their fault. I wasn't conscious. I didn't do the growing that I needed to do. And unfortunately, you got to find that stuff, right? You got to go seek it. It's not always available. Like conversations like this are not that readily available, are they? It's rare to find this. Even when you go to a counselor, the counselor has to follow a certain protocol. They can't talk to you about certain things. Like I'm going to do some counseling. I'm going to tell people you may not be together. Like that's number one. You got to accept that option. You may have to part. That's an option. And so not everyone's going to say that. Okay. Love you too. Let me know if you want more of this. If you want to do this at Flashpoint Live, I would love to spend a day or two on this, but we need people to enroll. Right now, I don't have enough people enrolled. So if you want to come to the event, I need to know you want to come because we need to get the space. We want you there. I want to pour out on you. I want to love on you. I want to get the people there, the team to love on you, have these real conversations, get to the truth because what we really want is authenticity. And that's what we're cultivating here, to be authentic, to be real, and to work on it. It's a constant process. All right. So questions, if you want to send me a personal message, whatever, just keep it going. I'll do more of this if you want it. I am open to it. I want to continue to grow myself. This helps me as much as it helps you. And that's all I have for now. More relationship content. No, we're not. I'm basically self-taught because I've searched for wisdom and found it. That's right. Self-taught. God bless everyone. I'm going to be on the Journey to Freedom, the private group. I'm going to be on there shortly. I'm going to share with you one discipline that I added as a follow-up to this morning's Meet Me in the Morning. So I kind of did a call to action, have everybody add one new discipline in your personal journey. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to be doing another live video talking about that. And maybe we can cultivate that too. All right. Okay, Michelle, what do you got? Sure, but I'm going to be the relationship tester for entertainment. Okay. Bring it. Biblically, we may only suggest separation if the other person I understand that, Anilda. I get that loud and clear. I am open. Every situation is different, and things will work out when people show up authentic and they're willing to be. Here's what happens. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. And that's what we want. All right, everyone. Talk soon.